Hello and welcome to Elecspo. Right, England are having a Euro 2020 to remember, but what I want to know is where will this fantastic group of players be in 10 years time? Well, using Football Manager 2021, I'm going to find out. My name's James, you're watching Elecspo, and this is England's Euro 2020 squad in the summer of 2031. Let's go. Jordan Pickford, retired. Right, we're starting this video out with a missing persons request, as Jordan Pickford in the summer of 2031 is nowhere to be seen. There's no trace of Jordan Pickford. The last time he was seen on this game, he was signing for Leicester City from Wolves for £2 million on the 2nd of January 2029. I can only assume he only signed maybe an 18-month deal, and he's retired. Throughout this simulation, he's been on a little bit of a tour. He went from Everton to Rangers, Rangers to Sheffield United, Sheffield United to Wolves, and then finally Wolves to Leicester. But in 2031, the Rave Machine's absolutely nowhere to be seen. Aaron Ramsdale, Aston Villa. In 2031, Aaron Ramsdale is the England #1. He's an Aston Villa player valued at £22.5 million. He's earning 120 grand a week, a huge amount of money, and at 33 years old, he's played 99 times for England. He is one cap away from a century of appearances for his country. FM absolutely love Aaron Ramsdale. He joined Southampton in 2023 for 20 million quid. Then he went to Leeds for 27.5 million quid. Then after that he went well and better, playing for Aston Villa in 2028 for £30.5 million. And throughout the simulation, you know what it is, he's actually been pretty good. He only spent one season in the Championship with Sheffield United. That was the second season, 2021-2022, the season we're looking forward to in reality. But at FM21, Aaron Ramsdale is as steady as they come as Premier League goalkeepers. And teams have spent a lot of money on him in years gone by. In total, nearly £100 million has been spent on Aaron Ramsdale. Has it been money well spent? I mean, to play 99 times for your country, you've got to be pretty damn good. Sam Johnstone, retired. In 2031, England's third choice at the Euros, Sam Johnstone has retired from football and he's awaiting his crack as a coach. He wants to be a goalkeeper coach, that's what he's waiting for, but unfortunately, no one's given him a job yet. In this simulation, he stayed at West Brom until 2024. He had 3 years at Blackburn before ending his career at Crawley Town. He's got a tactical style of Route 1. He's good at working with youngsters and he's bloody determined. But when it comes to goalkeeping, I mean, does he know anything? It's not even a coaching attribute. Defending, is that what it goes under? Either way, motivation 6, man management 3. I mean, based on this, Sam Johnstone wouldn't make a very good coach. It's no wonder anyone's not employed him. Chelsea, Reece James. Reece James is having the time of his life in 2031. He is still at Chelsea, earning a huge 400 grand a week. And not only that, he's only the bloody captain at Stamford Bridge. Throughout the simulation he's been brilliant, every season getting higher than a 7 average rating, and he's just a picture of consistency. I mean, that is sensational. 7.48 his best season. He had back-to-back 7.48s in 2028 and 2029. Reece James still the Chelsea right back, now he's the captain, and 60 times he has played for England, and I'm sure in 2031 we'll still be taking as many right backs as we can to a tournament. Kyle Walker, retired. Kyle Walker is another player who's retired from the England Euro 2020 squad, and on FM 2021 and 2031 he wants to be a director of football, but sadly, just like Sam Johnstone, no one's given him a gig. His career at Man City ended in 2023, and then his career took a little bit of a strange turn. He spent a season in Italy with Bologna, and then he finished his career with a couple of years in Russia with Lokomotiv Moscow. I mean, think about how good people think Kyle Walker is. The tournament was one of the best right backs on the planet, especially in the Premier League. Yet after Manchester City, he went to a mid-table Serie A side and then off to Russia. And now, after being retired for 5 years, no one wants him to be their director of football. Poor Kyle Walker, man, he doesn't deserve this. Kieran Trippier, retired. We've got another player joining Jordan Pickford on the missing persons list, as Kieran Trippier as well is nowhere to be seen. His whereabouts hasn't been known for years, to be honest with you. The last time he was spotted on this game, he was signed for Bournemouth from Arsenal on the 18th of July 2024. That's 7 years in which no one's known where Kieran Trippier is. But at least we'll still have that Croatia free kick to reminisce about. Harry Maguire, retired. It's another retired player, it's another man who wants to go into coaching, and another man who hasn't got a job. Based on this, Harry Maguire would be alright as a head of youth development, he wouldn't be a bad coach, he wouldn't be a bad assistant manager, but he wants to be a manager. And at the age of 38, no one has given Harry Maguire and his massive fridge-like head a crack as a manager. His career ended in Portugal, luckily it wasn't Greece. He went to Southampton for a year, he had a couple of years at Newcastle, then he finished it up at Sporting, God I was about to say Sporting Lisbon there. He finished in Lisbon playing for Sporting Club de Portugal. With Harry Maguire in 2031, he wants to be a manager and he's determined. He's determined. You can't question his determination. Well, it's still not a 20. Either way, I mean, that's quite appalling. Mentally, that's all he's really got going from a 10 mental, 10 adaptability and 10 level of discipline. Attacking only 2. I mean, the way Harry Maguire attacks that ball from Luke Shaw crosses, that should be much higher than a 2. John Stones retired. Harry Maguire's partner in crime at the back has also called it a day, and he too wants to be on the touchline, but John Stones, to his credit, he only wants to be a coach, and based on his ratings, it'd be much better than Harry Maguire. He can work with youngsters, he's much more determined, and he's very disciplined. His career ended in France, he didn't actually spend much longer at Man City. He left in 2021, had a year at PSG, which obviously was a bit of a bust as well, and he ended his career spending 7 years in Monaco. I mean, I can think of worse places to be for the rest of my career. Conor COADY retired. I don't know what it is about these England defenders, but most of them have called it a day by 2031. Conor COADY's another player looking for a job. He wants to be an assistant manager, he wants to be an ass man just like Billy Gunn, but no one has given him the call. His career at Wolves ended in 2025. He went to Villa for no time at all. 2022 to 2022, what was he doing? He did the same at Burnley 2025, that can't be right. Surely he didn't, oh hang on, no, he went on loan. He went on loan to Aston Villa, then on loan to Burnley, left Wolves in 2025, got a permanent move to Burnley before ending his career at Fenerbahce, which is why he's got a little bit of knowledge about Turkey. He knows England and he knows Turkey. I mean, that's great for Thanksgiving, but that's about it. Tyrone Mings retired. Right, I promise you now, this is actually, I was about to make a promise and it was an absolute lie. I was going to say this is the last player of the England squad that has retired, but that, unfortunately, my friends, is a lie. He's the second last, though. He's the last defender, so let's move on. Tyrone Mings, he wants to be a manager. He ended his career in Germany playing for Union Berlin in 2026. I think that was a loan spell, actually, from Leicester. He had a couple of loan spells in Germany, weirdly. Like I say, he wants to be a manager. No one, though, has given him a chance yet. According to this, he tends to sign under 24 players for the first team. Now, I don't want to point the fingers at people. I'm not accusing Tyrone Mings of being a liar. But how can you tend to sign under 24 players when literally no one has given you a chance to actually be a manager? Something's up here, and I'm calling Tyrone Mings out. That's Conor COADY, I don't know what's happened here. Tyrone Mings, there he is. Ben White, Norwich City. While in reality it looks like he's going to be heading to Arsenal for big money, in 2031 on FM, Ben White is playing for Norwich and he's never actually played for England. At the age of 33, he has got 0 caps and unsurprisingly, he's got 0 goals as well. He's actually spent the majority of his career at Brighton. He's only just joined Norwich for £18 million in the summer of 2030. But when you look at his average ratings, you know what? He's actually been pretty damn good. He spent 1 season in the Championship where Brighton got promoted straight away. His average ratings have always been between 6.9 and 7. I mean, that's pretty good. He even had a 7.03 and a 7.06 and a 7.16 in the Championship. Based on this, Ben White, solid as they come at the back, and that's probably all going to change when he joins Arsenal. Luke Shaw retired. Right, do you remember before when I said Tyrone Mings was going to be the last defender who'd retired? Well, it turns out I did lie to you, because Luke Shaw, just like Conor COADY, he wants to be an ass man as well. Come on, Billy Gunn. Luke Shaw, he wants to be an assistant manager at just 35. He's been retired for about a year now, and still no one has given him a job. Literally every player out of this England Euro 2020 squad who's retired hasn't got a job. Maybe they've got jobs as pundits or something, I don't know. But in terms of coaching, no one has got a job. Luke Shaw's one of them. He went to Angers, he went to PSG, he went to Torino, and even after retiring, he was probably still getting slagged off by Jose Mourinho. Ben Chilwell, Paris Saint-Germain. Ben Chilwell has played an incredible 127 times for England by the summer of 2031. He probably would have played more in reality if it hadn't been for Billy Gilmour costing him a shot at Euro 2020. At the moment, he still hasn't actually featured for England, and to be honest, I don't think he will. I mean, as I'm saying this, we could be going out tonight. Christ, I hope we don't lose to Denmark. Anyway, Ben Chilwell playing for PSG. He's a fringe player at the age of 34 years old. He's still got another 3 years in his contract. He was mainly at Chelsea throughout the simulation, pretty decent. Went to Arsenal for £36 million, did well at the Emirates, and now he's at Paris Saint-Germain, where, to be honest with you, he's playing brilliantly. They say he's a fringe player, I argue not. Ben Chilwell is a top quality left back with average ratings that even the best of players would be jealous of. Well, that's a lie, but I mean, we've told enough lies in this video. Ben Chilwell, a good left back in 2031, even at the age of 34. Declan Rice, Chelsea. Right, I don't know about you when you're watching your team, but do you ever give nicknames to your own players? Like, I don't support West Ham, so I've never supported Declan Rice, but watching England the other night, I actually referred to Declan Rice as Dec, as if it was Ant and Dec. Imagine Dec McParton sitting in front of the England defence. As for Declan Rice in 2031, he is no longer at West Ham, he is sitting in front of the Chelsea defence, getting 175 grand a week for the pleasure, but he could be on the move in the near future. This says he's considering his options. He's on the transfer list with an asking price of just £33.5 million because he won't sign a new contract at Chelsea. He could be going to Arsenal in the future. Let's have a look at how he's done in the simulation. It's been pretty good actually. At West Ham, he had a good first season. That earned him a £62 million move to Man City, where he was even better. Then in 2028, £62 million was once again enough to take Rice away as he went to Chelsea for 3 seasons. But in 2031, it could all be coming to an end for Declan Rice. He's wanted by Arsenal, and I've got a sneaky suspicion that he might want to head there because one of his best friends is also playing at the Emirates. More on that in a moment. Calvin Phillips, Lille. Okay, so in 2031, Calvin Phillips is playing his football in France. He's playing for Lille, but he won't be doing it for much longer. That's because on the 1st of July 2031, Calvin Phillips is off to Italy. He's heading to Sampdoria on a free. It's going to be quite exciting for him. His career from Leeds took him to Man City. Unfortunately, at the Etihad, he never really got going. After 2 seasons, actually might have been a season and a half, he went to Lyon, and in France, Calvin Phillips has been much better. But he's just had a year at Lille, and it was a little bit of a disaster to be honest with you, so hopefully for his sake at the age of 35, things can improve at Sampdoria. Jordan Henderson, retired. He went absolutely ballistic when he scored against Ukraine the other night, and in 2031, Jordan Henderson is retired and he wants to be a head of youth development. But unsurprisingly, no one's given him a job. That's because his working with youngsters rating is only 14. I mean, it's decent, it's better than most players that we've looked at here, but considering your job wants to be working with kids basically, well, young players, 14's not quite good enough. His career was quite strange actually. He had a couple of years at PSG, a couple of years at Barcelona, before he ended it all at Watford. His England career ended with 129 caps and, just like in reality, only a single goal. Jude Bellingham, Manchester United. He's the youngest player in the England squad right now, and in 2031 he'll only still be 27. I mean, that's still really young. I mean, I turned 27 in a couple of weeks, so I'd like to think it's still young. In 2031, Jude Bellingham, one of the best players in the world to be honest with you. He cost Man United 113 million quid, and when you look at his numbers, I think we can all agree he was worth every penny. Mason Mount, Arsenal. Do you remember before when I was saying that Declan Rice might want to join Arsenal? This is the reason why. Him and Mason Mount go way back, and on FM21 in 10 years time, Mason Mount has somehow ended at the Emirates. He spent the majority of the simulation at Chelsea, played brilliantly pretty much every year, but bar this one here where he got an average rating of 6.85. But as the years have gone by, the goals have kind of stopped flowing. His best ever season in front of goal was 7, that was in 2024-25, but in 2030 he joined Arsenal for just £10.5 million. It was a move in January. He's played 16 times for the Gunners and he scored 2 goals. In total he's got 115 caps for his country, 22 goals. He's got a couple of more years at Arsenal, but will he be spending them with his best friend, Declan Rice? Phil Foden, Borussia Dortmund. Right now he's the blonde bombshell. In 2031 he's a Borussia Dortmund player, 100 caps for his country, 30 goals, so that's a goal just shy of, it's about one every between 1 every 3, 1 every 4. He's getting 185 grand a week at Borussia Dortmund. He didn't cost them a single penny. Man City massively dropped the ball on Phil Foden. It's Dortmund who benefited. He joined them on a free in 2024 and he hasn't looked back since. I wonder if he'll still be blonde in 2031. Christ, I hope not. Jack Grealish retired. Christ, I really got it wrong when I said there weren't many more players who were retired. Jack Grealish is another one. He wants to be a coach, and just like everyone else, no one's given him a job. He ended his Aston Villa career in 2029. He's spent most of his playing days playing for Aston Villa, and then he had one final year in Spain with Getafe. I mean, it was a bit of a holiday really based on this. 3 goals, 3 assists, not bad. Tan, probably on point. Probably got himself a few cocktails. A few days by the pool, retired in 2030, wants to be a coach, and no one has given him a job. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal. In 2031, Bukayo Saka is still at Arsenal. Along with Reece James, he's the second player still to be at the same club, but that dream could be coming to an end. He's asked to leave, he feels it is time to move on for a new challenge. The new challenge he could be getting is to go to Aston Villa. I mean, with all due respect to Aston Villa, what's the challenge? Either way, he could be on the move. He's on the transfer list, and Arsenal have set an asking price of £63 million. Is he worth it? I don't care. Jadon Sancho, Lazio. Luckily for Jadon Sancho, he hasn't made an absolute arse of himself and arrived at FC United of Manchester. In this simulation, he actually did make it to Manchester United, but Jadon Sancho's career, let's be honest, has been an absolute catastrophe. He joined Man United in 2022, here a year late, £93 million. He had one season in the first team, 27 appearances, only 11 of them were starts. Since that season, he has never played more than 4 league games. Absolutely embarrassing. In 2025, he joined Lazio for £29 million. And they've just never played him. What has happened to Jadon Sancho here? Let's have a look at his injuries. He's damaged his cruciate ligaments. He's had little injuries every now and then. Have injuries damaged this lad's career? Done his Achilles tendon in 2021? That shouldn't have mattered. Jadon Sancho, what on earth has happened to you here, son? This is absolutely appalling. How can someone as good as Jadon Sancho in 2031 only have played 42 times for his country and had seasons where he hasn't actually kicked a football for Lazio? What an embarrassment. RAHEEM Sterling, Sevilla. In 2031, RAHEEM Sterling is still playing football, but only for one more season. He's got a contract at Sevilla until 2032 and he is happy to stay out the remainder of his career with the club. Will he get a new deal in a year's time? I highly doubt it, but at 36, RAHEEM Sterling is an absolute hero. This has actually been his first year in Spain. It hasn't been a great time, but throughout the rest of the simulation at Manchester City, he has been an absolute dream, just like he's been for England at Euro 2020. All hail RAHEEM Sterling, we are not worthy. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Everton. In 2031, Calvert-Lewin, he's still at Everton. He's only played 11 times for England. He's got himself 3 goals. And you know what it is? He's actually been really good throughout this simulation. I think he's been done a disservice by England. There's only been 2 seasons in the Premier League where he didn't hit double figures. Even in 2022-23, he got himself 21 goals. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been prolific. He's became an Everton legend, still at 34, he's still banging them in, but his England career just hasn't gone to plan. Marcus Rashford, Arsenal. I don't know what on earth has happened here, but in 2031, Marcus Rashford is an Arsenal player who is sitting on the transfer list. He won't sign a new deal. He's got an asking price of just £20 million, but at the minute, no one is willing to pay it. He's played 140 times for England at the age of 33. He spent 3 seasons at Arsenal. He cost big money, £59 million. For Man United, he started the simulation brilliantly. He was hitting double figures. Then things kind of started to tail off a little bit. At Arsenal, he has been sensational. 3 brilliant seasons so far for the Gunners. Yet I've got no idea why on earth they would put him on the transfer list. I mean, just persevere, lads. Come on, this is Marcus Rashford we're talking about, for goodness sake. The man who's trying to feed the nation. And finally, Harry Kane, Leicester City. At the age of 37, the England captain Harry Kane is still going. he's somehow ended up at Leicester City. Leicester City, who have just finished 16th in the Premier League. All is not well for Harry Kane. Let's have a look at his career. He never left Tottenham. Didn't matter, I mean, his average ratings have been absolutely sensational. I mean, Football Manager 2021 absolutely loves Harry Kane. He would probably pass the ball 2 yards and he'd get a 10 rating every week. On this simulation, he's gone to Leicester in 2031 for just £4.4 million and he's only scored twice. But he's happy to stay out the remainder of his career with his current club. That's not what's happening in reality. In reality, Harry Kane wants to leave and he wants to leave now. Perhaps he might get his wish in a few weeks' time after he's lifted the Euros for England. Christ, I hope I haven't been knocked out in the semis, otherwise this is going to be really embarrassing. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.